basically this guy Ramon, and I'm gonna be like John here and mess up the name, Loreno, something like that. Loreno. He got hit 3 times in 2 days, 2 times in 1 game, and the last one was which John's favorite part of it. He threw a slider and hit him in the back. I don't think that was intentional. A couple of them probably were, but I don't think that one was intentional. I don't think it broke. And he's trying to give like pitching advice on the way to first base.
Yeah, as the ump is like shuffling the first, he's like no, it didn't break. You gotta do. He's like giving him. You gotta snap it.
You're just coming in straight.
He was like genuinely like no, it's okay.
He was probably being sarcastic.
I think so.
He's probably being sarcastic, but you can.
I don't know. He seemed pretty genuine to me.
Yeah.
He means it both ways. He's like, I want to help you, dude.
Exactly.
But also, what the hell are you doing?
It's like the Pat McAfee at the end when that guy walked up. He's like, was I being disrespectful? No.
We can mention it after.
Yeah,
it's like,
we'll definitely
talk
about that later.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't being disrespectful after I just called him out.
Complimentative even.
So I think it definitely was being like, he's trying to be sarcastic. But when he gets to first base, this no-name hitting coach starts chirping him and takes a step at the top and goes, "Come here." Yeah. "Come here." And he's like, "What are you talking about? Who are you? Get out of here." And literally like tells him basically to come fight him. He says, "All right, here we go."
The dude squares up.
And he like pulls the shit, like, who was it? Was it John Boy or something like that? Is the guy that like does the announcing for all these like fights and like different funny things. Like he breaks down the film. And as soon as he like hikes up his pants, he like gets him, like, he was ready to fight. Yeah. He baited him. And then when Ramon runs over, is it Ramon? Yeah. Ramon runs over. Like 4 Astros guys step in the way and block him off, which is the most. Shout out Rob Marcello, and Jack Moran, a coward move. He is an absolute coward.
You know what that also tells me? It tells me the players have no confidence in that guy swinging and defending himself.
Like
they're like, wow, this guy's getting into a fight. This guy can't fight. I'll do it.
Yeah. So like, one of the guys takes him down, wraps him up. One of the most give the Astros some credit. One of the most impressive wrap ups I've ever seen.
It was a solid judo takedown.
Wrapped him up and brought him down. The only compliment I'll give the Astros probably all year. That was pretty impressive. I've never seen anyone do that in a baseball fight. And basically they start going at it.
Bench is cleared.
And the whole time the hitting coach is on the outskirts.
Yeah.
Which is the most like
hands out, like,
he was like 4 to 6 feet away from where all the fighting was. He was just watching it.
He was just watching.
And he was the one chirping and starting.
He's the one that started it.
He called it right.
If I'm the MLB, and you just gave Joe Kelly an 8-game suspension, really suspending the hitting coach isn't going to do anything to their team.
Right.
Really isn't going to do anything. I would hammer him. I would give him equal to, if not more, an 8-game suspension.
Well, now that Joe Kelly has been the precedent, guess what?
He incited a brawl.
Yeah.
I don't remember, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the Joe Kelly video, I don't remember Joe Kelly being like, "Fight me."
He didn't say fight me.
He taunted him.
Taunted him.
1,000% taunted him.
And there wasn't a melee. It was just like the typical 2019 baseball fight where they come out and just like, "Hey guys, let's
Right. Yeah. But like the hitting coach, like literally
said, like, come here,
squared up, was like, "Let's fight."
Yeah.
So this goes back to what I discussed last time, which is what part of the Joe Kelly part constituted part of the ban. So for instance, when I talked about was the 4 games because of hitting him and 4 games because of taunting, how does this work? So when this comes to this, does that coach automatically get 4 games because of taunting and then adding on to whatever it is for inciting a brawl?
Now, and that's also the other part of the coin that I was talking about with you. This guy's a no-name. So the commissioner is going to feel more apt, and he's probably going to see it as a chance to get some standing back in the league to hammer the Astros again with this no-name hitting coach that's going to do nothing.
Now, also, isn't the pitcher going to be punished for it because he technically did hit several times?
He didn't incite it though.
No, I'm talking about just hitting him. Because part of Joe Kelly's thing was he hit the guy intentionally.
Because that last ball that hit him, none of it was intentional. None of it not that we know of. Like, it wasn't an obvious intentional hit. Like that, and especially the last one, which I defended Joe Kelly. I'm going to defend this guy right now. I'm fair. It was a slider that didn't break. And if he listens to the advice of the guy that Ramon snapped his wrist and like throw a slide, he was throwing it to.
You got to snap it. You got to snap it.
I don't think he's going to get suspended. Ramon may get a suspension because he charged him, but
he did
he did charge the side, so he'll probably get a couple games. But it's going to be interesting because Joe Kelly got 8 games and he didn't even hit anyone or throw punches. So what are you going to give guys that started a full-out brawl? Not saying Ramon started because he was like, who are you, dude? But and I don't blame him at all. But what are you going to give these guys? It's going to be interesting the suspension that they get. They're both going to get suspensions.
No, that coach though, that kind of attitude.
You should get hammered.
Yeah.
You should get hammered. Like, especially if you're a coach, you're supposed to be the example. You're supposed to, in those situations, you're supposed to.
If it's like a thing where like Joe Kell, where you're like in each other's faces and then like some shoving happens, that's a little different than being 10 feet away from someone and being like, come here, let's fight.
Yeah.
Like, it's, you know what I mean?
You're inviting that. Yeah. You're saying, hey.
You're making a conscious decision to be like, I'm going to start a brawl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't defend him, I wouldn't I guess I wouldn't understand it, but I'd be less annoyed at this, I guess, if it was a player. If it was a player on the Astros team, I would at least be like, all right, they're getting hammered. Like if it was Bregman or someone like that, or Correa, like in the Joe Kelly situation, they're the ones that are getting hit. And like, I can understand, like, even though they cheated, I get it. But I can understand if I'm getting hit every other night, I'm probably going to get a little irritated at the whole situation.
Especially if you're one of the players on the Astros that wasn't
participating.
Participating. That's my thing. I understand if these guys are getting pissed off, they're like, I'm getting yelled at for something I never did.
Right. Or like you just got here, or you're like within the last couple of years, it wasn't even on the team. Like, I understand that. Yeah. But it was a coach. Like, you're supposed to be the example.
The coach instigated it. And the guy, mind you, the guy coming off bat, the guy that was batting, he wasn't being a dick at all.
Originally, he was like, get out of here, dude. Like, who are you? And then after that, he was like, come here.